office, and of course with a very, very distinguished gentleman who has been a right honorable. He has been the Speaker of the House of Assembly in Ekiti State. As you all know, Ekiti State elections coming up in 2018, as well, it's getting hotter every day. And of course, one of the top contenders is right there with me. I'm going to be telling you who he is on the other side. Don't worry, we'll be right back. Welcome back. It's my pleasure to present to you the gubernatorial candidate of the APC for Ekiti 2018, Right Honorable Femi Bamishile, live in the building. You're most welcome, sir.
Thank you so much. It's been a while.
It's been a while. It's been a while.
I think the last time we had an interview was back in England.
Yes,
London.
That's correct. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. Good. You want to contend for this exalt position as the governor of Ekiti State come 2018.
You're right.
Why do you want to do that?
Apparently, I've been in politics now, 16 years running. I started my political career in Lagos State here as special advisor to a local government chairman when I came back from the United States. I was special advisor then for works in Sule local government. And I left 2001, went back to my state, Ekiti State, and got the first appointment as a liaison officer in Lagos State here from Adini Adebayo. And I think when I was done with that, Fayose won the elections, the 2003 elections, and he came in as governor of the state. And invariably, I became special advisor, general duties to the governor. And I served in capacity of that up until when he was impeached out of office. And I ran an election 2007 myself and won to go to the House of Assembly. And who was there till 2011. I was Speaker of the House of Assembly and served in that capacity too up until 2009 when I resigned my appointment as the Speaker, and still was a member up until 2011. So I became party chairman after that particular office, deputy chairman of PDP in the state for up and about 2 years before I now invariably came to APC. So I've gone through the ranks of politics.
Why did you cross over?
Then, I unfortunately then was part of the process that brought Ayodele Fayose into government at that point in time. And I now quickly saw something in him when he assumed office, or when he became the candidate of the party, I quickly saw something right in him that he didn't change, and he could not have changed.
But you worked for him.
I sure did. I was one of those principal players, like I said, that worked for him to earn the ticket. But the moment he earned the ticket, a leopard will not change his color, as people say anyway. So I realized then that he had taken the same toga that he wore when he was governor last time out. And I knew Ekiti wasn't ready for that, and Ekiti wouldn't go for that. And most importantly, I wasn't going to try to tarnish my name for that. So I pulled out before the elections. It was 2 days before the governor's election, and I pulled out to APC.
Okay.
Even while I was the deputy chairman of the party.
Okay, we're going to go further into that later on. But let me ask you this: it's something credited to Senator Babafemi Ojudu. He said the Ekiti State government is expecting the worst governance under Fayose. What's your reaction to that?
Sincerely, for me, I really don't normally get into issues that don't concern me. He's the governor of the state. He has his time to serve 4 years, and after 4 years, he'll be gone. I look more into how to revamp the economy to make Ekiti State much better than what it is now. So I'm not too keen about whatever Ayo decides to do. I've left his party. I'm not within his political party no more. It's up to him to decide what he wants to do. He's an adult, and a full-grown adult for that matter. So whatever it is that he does within the state, directly or indirectly affects all of us as a people. But I'm looking more onto the brighter side, wanting to make the state much better when we get into government.
Fantastic. Since the creation of Ekiti State and now, have you seen any major development in the state, and what are you going to bring on the table?
Without a doubt, everybody that has come into the state has played his own plate within governance. You know, Ekiti State, unfortunately, one of the 6 states in the southwest zone. We've had an equal share of so many governors that have governed us, interim government, military interregnum, executive governors and all that. So there's been all contributing factors to the development of the state. Everybody at the point in time. That's why governance or government is a continuum. So everybody has his own share and time to develop in his own way that he knows best. So I can tell you the Ekiti that I used to know 2001 is totally different from what it is now. The only problem that I see is about human capital development. The people there haven't developed, but the state has actually taken a shape from what it used to be in the dark days to what it is now.
Okay, fantastic. You have an octopus agenda. What's it all about? You said human capital development.
Yes.
How do you want to realize that?
Thank you so much.
We see a lot of politicians come and go and tell us the same thing, but
mine or ours.
Feel it.
Thank you so much. Mine or ours, the team Bafem, is going to be with a difference. The panache to it is this. The octopus agenda. You remember the World Cup 2000, or would I say it's about 2001 or 2004? The octopus is known as an animal that lives underwater. And it's the octopus that determines the result of football games. It will tell you the future and where the future of that particular state, no doubt. It's an animal with 8 legs, and we have 16 local government. 1 leg extended to 2. And it's about development. It's about looking at human capital development. It's about bringing infrastructure, bringing industrialization to the state, and that's exactly how we can move forward.
Okay, but we've seen a lot of that coming up. People come and campaign and they tell you this and that.
But the difference between myself and their campaign is I've resided in Ekiti State for straight 16 years. I live with the people know me and I know them. I know where the shoe pinches. It's a difference between someone coming from out of town, wanting to lord something over you and not understanding the terrain which is coming to operate. That's the difference between our own town.
Okay, SMEs has been the hallmark of development. Petty business in Ekiti State. I know a lot of Ekiti people are petty traders. That's what drives the economy. How will you fix it so that people can have access to microfinance?
Oh, without a doubt. We are looking at this petty business or the SMEs that you just talked about. Coincidentally, I had a discussion with a friend of mine a couple of days ago, and we're looking at ShopRite. And immediately she went and said, ShopRite cannot come to Ekiti State. And I said, quite right. Because the moment you bring a store of that glamour into Ekiti State, an emerging economy, a developing economy, you're going to crumple the entire economy within the state for the little petty traders that are going to form. But we're looking at the state creating opportunities, avenues for you to get loans, revolving loans, which can be used for your businesses, and you return it back to government at probably a very low percentage, which will not be injurious to your business.
Okay, Ekiti has a lot of potentials in mining and agriculture. We've got beautiful hills in Ekiti.
That's right.
Are you going to have a kind of collaboration with industries abroad who can come and do a partnership agreement and boost your industry in Ekiti?
We're talking with a lot of people outside of Nigeria, but what we're doing mostly now is looking within. If you look at the national program, the policies of the nation now, of our party APC at the national, is talking about agriculture. I just want to tell you that about a week ago I had a tour around Femi Bamishile University, Abuad, and went through the farm. I was shocked at what I saw, and I told Baba himself clearly that, Baba, it would be shocking to tell you that there are 2 states in Ekiti. There's the Abuad state and there's the Ekiti state itself, because it's quite unimaginable the development that man has brought into the state in 7 years. The university is just 7 years. The farm is not more than 5 years. And if you look at that, I went to a section of the farm that deals with fish. To my chagrin, Baba told me that he sells 10 million naira worth of fish in a day. One imagines, yes. So we're going to have asked for that obvious reading, that I would love for the state to go in total collaboration with the university, the farm. So we would have to learn a lot from how these things are done. So life is a learning process for each and every one of us. So if we're even looking at partnership with the foreign businesses and all that, or organizations to come to Ekiti State, we need to look within ourselves. The money is around us. It's all about knowing now and actually trying to develop the people around you to know how to tap into the resources.
Okay, what do you think is wrong with your state in terms of development? Is it the money that comes from the central, or the management of the resources? If you look at it,
my brother, both.
Yeah, okay, go.
I'll tell you both. When you talk about the money that comes in, or the management of the funds, number one, democracy that we are following, the American system government we're running, it is vice versa in Nigeria. It's tipped over. When I say tipped over, you need to understand that it is the state that feeds the federal in the United States. It is not the federal that feeds the state. But in Nigeria, we always wait for allocation on a monthly basis. It makes a lazy governor. We're looking for vibrant-minded people who know their onions and who know how to build money, who know how to go and look for the money and build within the system. That's exactly what we're saying. So when you're talking about the funds are not coming right, I'm not interested in our government looking at what we'll get on a monthly basis. We're looking at what we will be able to make for ourselves in Ekiti State. So there would come a time that we won't be able to milk from the mother no more. Look at Lagos State. Lagos State earns about 35 billion a month on IGR. That's enough. Lagos State has the third or the fourth largest economy in the entire west coast of Africa. So what are we saying here? If a state can do it, people call it the metropolis. My brother, I'm not trying to make 35 billion, but I can actually push my state to about 2.5 billion a month.
Okay, let's talk about Ekiti State now in proper perspective. You've been speaker there,
yes.
And you are going to be running for this government. We have a lot of candidates on
no doubt
on both platforms, whether PDP or APC.
APC, that's right.
But what's giving you that courage that you're going to get it? Because if you look at the increment, we were told that he is a grassroots politician. So how are you going to beat that?
Thank you so much, my brother. When I just told you now, the workings of politics in Ekiti is known to some of us. I've been there for 16 years. I know our people. I wine and dine with them. We eat okurus, like we call it, the bush meat. We eat pounded yam on a daily basis. We drink our palm wines every evening, and we talk together. We know what they're looking for, and we've not come here to lie to them, because we live with them. There's a difference between someone who comes to town for a purpose to get something and someone who lives within them. The core orientation is there. The core values are there. And that's exactly what we're giving to our people. That's why I can tell you, without a shadow of doubt, at these primaries, it's there for the taking, and we're working hard for it. I've been on this for the past 2 years. I've gone around the entire state about 3 or 4 times. I've done the 177 wards in the state on 3 times rolling out. I'm on the 4th roll now. We give kerosene to our old folks. We give out of what we ain't got to people. So that tells you clearly we're working. And our people have actually warmed themselves into our hearts, and we're locked with them. And I'm assuring you, it doesn't matter what happens, we're asking for a free process. And at the process, we'd get it.
And you have a strong conviction that you're going to get the primaries?
Not just getting the primaries alone, we're going to win the elections. Ayodele Faoshe prouds himself for getting 16-0. I want to repeat to the world, we're going to dish back to him what he has given to us.
Okay. If eventually you win the primaries and you get in there, what will you do in the first 6 months?
My brother,
that's what watching your project.
My brother, let me tell you something so clearly. I'm not one of those who believes in tagging a particular month to development of processes in government. Government is a continuum. One thing I need to clearly assure you, when we get there, we're going to hit the ground running. I'm not going to have a government that will take 6 months to form a council for government. I'm not going to be a government that's going to be there that will not have the grassroots support almost immediately. We're going into local government elections to give room for grassroots politicking, for people to actually lock to their local governments. So there will be direct connect with the local government. We're going to be there to form our government almost immediately. So I can assure you in 6 months, there would be a lot that would have been done for the people of Ekiti, for the people of the world, for Nigeria to know that there's thoroughly a change in Ekiti State.
Okay, our viewers, it's been a wonderful session with Right Honorable Femi Bamishile. We're going to show you clips of what he has done in Ekiti so far before, the build up to the primaries coming up anytime. We don't know, but we'll let you know. Let's have a look at that. Take a look and take a listen. We'll be right back.
Team Bafem is a collaboration of young and elderly people inside the Ekiti State chapter of All Progressives Congress, APC. Members of this team own a shared aspiration to take responsibility for the future political and economic growth of Ekiti State through political participation. The team aims to create a more proactive development mentality of social and political consciousness amongst Ekiti dwellers, capable of moving Ekiti away from a state of recurrent political uncertainty onto a deserved platform favorable to a progressive human and material growth. The team's ultimate goal is to reposition Ekiti for sustainable development by redirecting her people's attention to exploiting her untapped human resources, cultural capital, and geographical advantage. This was why, fired by its uncommon aspiration to ensure that the fire of loyalty to the APC continues to burn in the hearts of the Ekiti populace.
People are coming out, they're welcoming our ideas, and we're continuing to speak to them, make them understand that the best party to be is APC and is the party of the future.
Tim Bafem's visit was identified and described by APC supporters as one of the best initiatives central to APC's membership growth and political success preparatory to future elections.
Yes, we are back, sir. Let's talk about how are you going to deal with issues of unemployment, issues of not being able to pay salaries. Civil servants, teachers are complaining in Ekiti. They've been no salaries, they've not been paid at all. And this has really affected a lot of people. So much poverty in the land. How are you going to tackle that?
Thank you so much. Unemployment, we say it all the time. Like I have a team that we work together. Within my team, there are high-ranking civil servants that are presently there. I can't mention names because they're still in government, and that's the interesting part of it. But we have a team that is working. On the issue of salaries, we want to tell you clearly, just like I said about subventions coming from Abuja, the state is not going to wait. We're not going to wait in our government for what comes. I call it peasants that comes in from Abuja. 1.3 billion, 2 billion at most times. We're about the third least paid in the federation. So we need to look inward through agriculture on how to generate revenues for ourselves. We need to look inward, away from what comes from Abuja, and that's what we're going to do. So on the issues of paying salaries, we need to streamline carefully. I can't make mention of so many things now because we don't even know where we're going to meet when we get to government. But one thing I know for certain, even we're planning of having the worst, when I say the worst, deficits in accounts, but we're going to move across the deficits because we're going to start asking, once there is security clearance within state, once you have an enabling environment for people to thrive, businesses will come and there'll be good security within society. So all these things will be done.
Okay, what will give you the edge above the other candidates when it comes to the primaries, the APC primaries? How many candidates are available now? How many people are going for the ticket that you are running after?
Interestingly, they say within our party there is 45, but what I know is I know myself, and I'm going to relate this to you just like someone who does a 100-meter race. Usain Bolt is the fastest man in the world. He does 100 meters in 9.5 seconds or 9.65 seconds. If peradventure, the man who comes second is given an advantage of a 5 meter ahead of Usain Bolt, the race is over before he starts. And one thing you need to know clearly is, for us here, we are telling you that we are locked with the people. Democracy is simply defined. Government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Put into cognizance the people. So it is the people that will determine their fate. And that's all that matters to us. The leadership of the party were in good reckoning with them. The grassroots were with them. What else do we need in elections?
Okay. Well, you know how these things play out in Nigeria. We've seen money politics playing out. When it comes to primaries, a lot of the chairman or the party members who are going to determine who their leaders or who their governor is will take bribes and collect gifts of, you know the way it works here. So
thank you so much. We put that into cognizance too. Remember, I told you I've been around now for 16 years. I know what money politics is all about. But the bottom line is, the psyche of individuals are totally different in Ekiti State. And Ekiti man is away from what you expect a Lagos person would be. We live in the country. Our people have been beat down for too long. We have been deceived for too long. And there comes a time when you're pushed to the wall, you do the right thing.
Okay.
Our people want to make the right choices and decisions now, irrespective of whose horse is God. Bring the monies, we'll take it, but we'll still play our conscience.
Okay, fantastic. Where are your strongholds in the state?
I probably might not be able to reel that out now on TV for anybody to know where my strongholds are. But I've done a SWOT analysis of myself and on other contending factors. And I can tell you, with what we have, we're very comfortable, but we're still working.
Let's look at issues of political thuggery now, very rampant, most especially in Ekiti State. We've seen from the days of Omobore and are you sure the state is ready for this election? It
is sure ready, without a doubt. For real, I don't want anybody to be misconstrued when it comes to issue of thuggerism and all that. Our boys and girls back in Ekiti, they've learned a bitter lesson, like I told you, and everybody is prepared for a better future. People have moved away from being used as dogs in elections, and we are constantly, even as we go by our tours, like you heard in our campaigns when we do the ward tours, we inform them clearly. Don't ever be part of that tool used for thuggery during elections.
Government, they have their own candidate, they want to favor their candidate. How are you going to deal with that?
We have seen it work out severally. The elections that brought Muhammadu Buhari into office, there was an imposition, it was free and fair. The elections that brought so many aspirants of our party into office. Because why this is so now is because everybody has learned a lesson from what had happened in the past. We've had about four governments now, 4 tenures now in government. We're running 16, running about 18 years in Nigeria democracy. How did you think PDP failed the election? It was through imposition. If Jonathan hadn't been imposed on the people of the party PDP, the likelihood is the result would be the way it was. You understand? And we have seen results of impositions in several states or national elections. And I know our party, as civil as we are, a party that has the best of minds. I've done a study of how elections should be conducted, and the freedom should be given back to the people. It's about the people now. What brought Buhari into government in Nigeria as president is the people. People wanted a change. We clamored for it. We got it. You understand? Yeah. So any party that decides on a position will get the result at the general elections, because the electorates are about almost 97%, while the politicians are no more than 3% in any state or the nation itself.
Okay. You're a staunch member of the APC now. Of course, I mean, you're well known within your state. We have to look at 3 years in Buhari's government now. How do we evaluate it?
Not too bad.
Not too bad.
No, for real. For me, I don't give percentage on anything, but I can just tell you clearly that from what I've seen, way back, military days, way back, the 16 years of PDP, now the 2 years of Buhari, Rome was not built in a day.
The government has been very slow.
Without a doubt.
A slow pace.
The government has been destroyed for so long. The economy that has been put down for too long a time, 16 years, 20 years, 40 years, adding up the military time to it, cannot just get an overnight shift in paradigm. We need to understand that. It's a slow pace. And again, don't forget, we're going to get there. We shouldn't rush too much. Let us leave that particular man who drives the vehicle. Unfortunately, Baba is out of town now on ill health. And a lot of people talk about this thing of he should resign office, he should do this, he should do that. But I'm saying, for a host of us who still have aged fathers at home and mothers, we know what it is when you're clocking 80. It is not easy. Even for a 50-something-year-old man, it is still not easy. So we need to give reckoning to the Almighty for God to actually grace his heart, for him to be back here at good health. But don't forget, the man at the helm of affairs in the country now, Yemi Oshibajo, very fine intellectual. He knows his onions, and he's doing his beat. You understand? So we as Nigerians should just clearly, for a change, not step on the pedal for too fast, and just let us look at how things take shape. It's 4 years. The mandate is 4 years. And we're just 2 years into it, half the tenure. So let us see how this runs another year before we start making up.
But we've seen a situation where the APC is also the opposition unto itself. If you see what's playing up within the executive arm and the legislative arm of government, what do you say to that?
That is power play, my brother. And this is democracy at its finest. As it is clearly defined, I told you the other time, the way you simply define it. But there are three arms of government. Everybody should be working independent of each other. The executive, the judiciary, and let me give you an instance now, don't forget so shortly. In the United States, Trump came into office. He gave an executive order, the traveling order. It took just a man, a judge from a small island to overrule that particular decision. The judiciary overruling what the executive had done. Heavens didn't fall. It's about nobody has the monopoly of power within government. There must be a symbiotic understanding and relationship between the three arms of government.
What's the situation in Ekiti as we speak now? The political situation as it dropped to the primaries?
Things are beginning to get to heat up. We're about 9-10 months to primaries. We're expecting our primaries to come up.
And you started quite early.
I started 2 years back. That's why I'm telling you that it's going to be very interesting for those who are just coming into it. And for now, we still don't have anybody on the tail for it. So I'm expecting, I'm not really enjoying what I'm doing.
Okay.
We need the competition anyway. So, but as to your question, as things are going into the primaries, it's going to get heated up in the next month or two. Because the thoughts of every average Ekiti person is to get the state back for APC and for Right Honorable Femi Bamishile.
Fantastic. Your last word for our viewers. It's been an interesting discussion. Let's have your last word.
I want to tell my people back in the diaspora. I really don't like using the word diaspora. I really want to say to them, prepare yourselves to get back to Nigeria, particularly for those of you who are from Ekiti State. We're waiting for you to help us join hands together to develop this state. There are a lot of things here for you, and our tenure and time in government would promise continuity, would promise good security, would promise upliftment, would promise development, and your investments will be going high.
Right Honorable Bamishile, it's been a pleasure.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Viewers, it's been an interesting discussion with the gubernatorial incoming aspirant for APC come 28 Ekiti gubernatorial elections hotting up. Of course, we're going to be letting you know the circumstances in that part of Nigeria. Keep watching us, and we'll get you informed about the political situation and developments in Ekiti State. Don't go away. We're still on. Don't switch it down. We'll be right back.